So I'm going to be talking about my MAP quiz in my Modern Latin America Race, Gender, and Rights class. It's an LAS 150 class. The grade I got on this assignment was a 103%. I worked really, really hard. I'm very satisfied with my grade. I worked really hard, and I also went to this study session to make sure that I got the extra 5 points from going, and it boosted my grade up a little bit more. Do I think my grade on the assignment reflects accurately about how much time I put into it? For sure. I studied for about 4 to 6 hours-ish. And then I also studied right before too. And I also went to the study session I had mentioned. So I did work really hard, and I think I earned the grade that I got. How did I prepare? I first just looked at the map, gave it a little look, and then I made a Quizlet for all of the capitals that I needed to know for the country of Latin America, and I used the Quizlet to memorize those. And then I also made a Quizlet for the geographical features, and I used the learning strategy for those. And then once I figured that out, it was finally time for me to memorize the map. And what I did for the map was I kind of made acronyms from the top of the map to the bottom. I would separate it into 3 halves, and I made 4 halves, and I made 4 different acronyms to help me remember what order and where it goes, which was very, very helpful. And then I also attended an SI session, which helped me figure out what all the capitals I needed to know were, because I didn't know that until I actually ended up at the SI session. During the assignment, did I feel prepared to complete it? I was very nervous. I was not prepared at all. My teacher actually hadn't given me everything I needed to know. She just at the end gave us a study guide. Here's what you need to know. But she never really told us what we needed to know about each thing, the geographical features. I feel like I had no idea what I was doing. And the capitals, she never told us what capitals we needed to know. She just told us the countries, and then we had to find the capitals ourselves, which kind of stressed me out as well. And then there was just so much information coming in at once just for a quiz, which I really thought was unfair. I thought it should have been a test for sure. And I feel like I almost forgot the whole thing right before, but it just kind of came back to me. When I got my test back, I looked over everything and saw what I got wrong. I had gotten 2 questions wrong. And the 2 questions I'd gotten wrong were because I didn't know what the geographical features were, and they were both geographical features. So I feel like if my professor had given me the definitions of each geographical feature, I feel like it would have been way easier for me to understand, and I wouldn't have to find it myself and then find the wrong answers. I didn't really get any comments or feedback. She just said she just wrote a good job on the top. I think in the future, what I could do to make improvements is definitely talk to the professor before on what I don't know, because I think I waited so last minute, so I didn't have time to get in touch with the professor and ask her everything we needed to know, which really stressed me out. I think my studying was a strategy was very good though, because I ended up getting everything done in time. I ended up hanging out with my friends after to relax my brain and be prepared. And I think that if I did talk to my professor, it would have been way, way better. I did ask her questions the day before I started studying, but it wasn't anything to do with the study guide since I hadn't quite looked at it yet. But I think the one thing I do need to change is next time, look at it ahead of time so I can talk to my teacher and ask her questions that I would like to know before I start studying, rather than having to kind of guess on it, if that makes sense.